Hello to part 2 of the Battle of Poniec or Punic, where we have seen the Swedes attacking really hard without waiting for the reinforcements that have now arrived into the battle board. Charles XII located here with some of the Drabants. He has relocated himself to the Drabants now. After, well, I think he lost one of the units that he was attached to, one of the I think it was one of the Brema or cavalry or dragoon regiments there. Anyway, he has relocated. The first wave of charges had been done. It was well, as you can see, the Swedes had taken a lot of casualties. The artillery fire from the Saxons was really effective. We have one of the batteries now eliminated though, and 2 battalions of infantry. Also, you remember the Saxon cavalry. This is a special rule for this scenario. They just escape from the battlefield at the end of turn 1, but they managed to do some damage in the beginning here. So it's turn 3. We have the Saxon morale on 1. So every battle will have. I wonder if it's only when the Saxons attack or if it's in general up. I'm not really sure, but I think I think it might be actually. Well, I need to check that if I can figure it out from the rulebook. Just a sec. Okay, it seems this only influence own attacks. So when Saxons attack, they get 1 morale modifier in their favor. Yes, and we also have, not to forget, we have one of these Pruski reduced, I don't say squadrons, but I think there's a few squadrons in one of these. So we can put that adjacent to a leader, but it should not be adjacent to an enemy. And since these guys were with Velling, I believe, we might put him there. So that would be actually this hex then. So they rally and appear there, close to Velling. And now we're ready for the 3rd turn, and the Swedes start. The first you do is an artillery phase, but we don't have any artillery for the Swedes, so they will go directly to the movement phase. So over on Velling's side, we will. I wonder how much these buildings gives in favor for the defender. I need to check that also really quick. Just a sec again. Okay, so it seems these villages give one shift in the battle table for the defender. So let's see. I think we dare to attack them then, especially if we can get some of the 9 morale units over there, because then we even that out, kind of, right? So let's see if we can get the North Scania to attack these. What are these guys? The Saxon. This is Polish infantry, but they are noted as Saxon. So let's see if we can get these guys over there. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't get the chance to go around and attack in the rear, unfortunately. 1, 2.5, basically. No, 1, 1.5, 2, because of the slope. Let's say 3, 4, and 5. I just want to do a frontal assault there. That's what's going to happen. Well, what do we have here below Schulenburg? These are actually full strength. We know the musketry is really deadly here, but I guess we could get to attacking each unit here. We have these guys also to worry about. All these in full strength. That's tough. That's tough. So, but if we do like this, then we could do 1 and 2. 1, 2, and 3. We get the Pruski to attack the Augusta infantry there beneath Schulenburg. And then these South Scanian cavalry regiment will charge these Kralovier infantry battalion. Okay. So I think we should start looking at the main charge over here. Can we get a lot of guys into action here? I guess we can. Here we have the Russians have taken a bit of damage already. That's cool. That would be nice to attack them. But here's what I'm gonna do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys will attack the Tromp. Then I need something to attack these guys, and it would even be enough with some light cavalry there actually. So let's see if we can get these Volocks to attack there. It will be 1, but they have an inferior morale, so maybe that's not good. Let's take the other Pomorsky to make sure we get that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We attack there, and let's see. The Nyland cavalry and the Drabants here, the elite, creme de la creme. We would like to get something here. If you put something here as well, that's okay. We will get hit really hard by this artillery while charging, that's for sure. But you know, these guys are super morale guys. So if they just come in there alive, then these guys will have a hard time defending. But I think I need to get Charles with the Drabants against Drost and these guys. Let's see, if we go 1, this means 1, 2, and 3. The artillery can fight the 3 hex range here. So let's do that. That's a 10. Awesome roll by the artillery. So let's see. It's light artillery, it's 2 in strength, and the range is 3, and we roll a 10. So it's -1. So Drabant sadly takes a hit. We need to check for Charles as well. He's fine. And then we go here. Now these guys have fire on 3 hex range. So now they actually can fire at 2 hex range again. Oh man. Poor Drabants, and they roll so freaking good as well. So a 9, meaning we are here at 2 hex range, and -1. The Drabants sadly goes down. So now they have fire on 2 hex range, and Charles needs to immediately relocate. So he goes to the closest one here, the Nylands. So we now need another charge here to do. 1, 2, 3. It was the Drabants just... by the way, we need to move the morale 1 step either further. It doesn't look good for the Swedes, that's for sure. I wonder though if where we had it in start. Is it on the 2 already, or is it on the last one? Let's see, it's easy to count actually. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dead Swedes, -3 Saxon. So it should be on the 6th one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's actually on the 2. Okay. We really need to kill off some Saxons now before it's the Saxons' turn, because they will get 2 shifts in their favor in their turn if they counterattack me. Question is though, do I dare to attack in the 1 hex range here? That artillery is so deadly. But let's do it. This is Nyland's cavalry, they do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here's the range we haven't fired on yet. So these guys will fire on 1 hex range, and they roll a 7. Is that enough? 1 hex range, 7 is just enough to get the hit on me there. Bam. Okay, but now we have the guys in ready to attack. I think I'm gonna move these light cavalry over here to make sure we might do some rear attacks in the next turn. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, I guess 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And these guys will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Something like that. And these guys, the Stenbock's cavalry together with Stenbock, they will support, they will need to do the last wave of cavalry attacks later on. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do it like this. So here we go. And now we have a bunch of attacks to take care of. And we start from the left-hand flank of the Swedes. So the Scanians will now attack here in the buildings. So we have, first we need to do musketry. It's a 2 strength infantry unit firing 6. So here we have those guys. 2 in strength, we rolled a 6. That's a miss. So then these guys get to charge. And remember, cavalry has double strength against infantry. So we have 4, meaning we have 8 to 2. It's 4 to 1. We have 5 to 1 thanks to the morale. But we dropped 4 to 1 again because of the build-up area there. Okay, 4 to 1. And we rolled the snake eye. Okay, this doesn't look too good for the Saxons. 4 to 1. Okay, actually the attacker takes 1 hit, which is a bit strange, but okay. These guys take a hit, and these guys need to go 3 back, and then they are dispersed, I mean. So 1, 2, 3, but they don't take any hits. That's crazy. But they were sure pushed out of that village, and we can follow up with both units actually. I'm gonna do that. But it was weird that they didn't take any hits actually. They should have, in my opinion, but that's how it is. Okay, next attack. Here we have the North Scanian Cavalry Regiment attacking the Polish Guard, I believe. So they will now fire first. That's a 3, I'm sure that's a miss, so we're gonna go straight to the attack. So we have 4 to 2, so it's 2 to 1, right? 2 to 1, 3 to 1 for the morale, 4 to 1 because we have Velink with a 1 modifier here. So 3 to 1 attack. That's a 4. 3 to 1 on a 4 means B2. So here's a strange thing. I don't know if I like this table. You know, if you have 3 to 1, the enemy needs to retreat 2 hexes, and that's it. If you would only had 2 to 1, they would have retreated and taking a loss. So doesn't really make sense. Anyway, B2. So these guys need to retreat 2, but since they cannot, I wonder what happens. I need to check that up as well, if it says anything about units retreating out of the board. Probably they are eliminated, but I need to double check to be sure. Just a sec. Okay, it just says they need to be able to retreat the full hex amount, and this cannot do that. I'm actually taking it out. So that's 1 for the Swedes actually. And I'm not even bothering to follow up. By the way, I forgot to do one thing. The Saxon guards, when they retreated out of the village, they also got dispersed. So they should be put over here actually, even though they didn't take any hits. All right, that was that. So then we have this one, and here we have dragoons from the Swedes, so they will also fire. So we have 3 points cavalry firing first for the Swedes. That's good, 9. Here we have cavalry, 3 points and 9. It's a hit. So that's Augusta takes a hit. We need also just to check Schulenburg. He's fine, but they will though fire back with full strength. And they fire here, by the way. So that's a 9, and I'm sure that's a hit on a 2 strength infantry. Yes, it is. So the other Pruski takes a hit, and then we have the close combat to do. So here we have 2 against 1, but these guys are doubled, so it's actually 4 against 1. 4 against 1, and Schulenburg is a 0 leader modifier of him, so he doesn't bother, or he doesn't give, I mean, any bonus for the Saxons. So 4 to 1 it is. The only thing now, since Schulenburg is here, these guys cannot be dispersed. 11 on a 4 to 1. That's actually a miss. Nothing happens. So these guys just fire at each other and then bounce back. Or maybe they're just doing an old style caracol firing here, these Pruski dragoons. You know, riding towards the enemy, firing, riding back while and reloading. The next wave rides fire, forth and fire and so forth. It's a kind of a circle, the caracol attack. So here we have the next one, but these guys are not dragoons, so they will just do the charge. But we have the Kroloway infantry battalion firing first. That's a 4. I'm sure that's a miss. They have 2 in strength. Yeah, it's a miss. So then we do the attack. So it's 2 against 2, but since these guys are doubled, it's 2 to 1. We have morale bonus, 3 to 1, and that's it. 3 to 1 and 8. 8 on a 3 to 1 is the Swedes take a hit and the Saxons need to retreat 1 hex. So this South Scania regiment takes a hit, these guys retreat, actually up the hill, and these guys follow. We are pushing them back, but with heavy losses as the Swede. Next one. Here we have the Pomorsky charging Tromp's battalion. Pomorsky will first fire. Miss. Tromp will return fire. 7. Just a miss. So then we charge, and we have the 2 to 1 again, and no morale difference, so it's a straight 2 to 1. And we have a 3. What's that? 2 to 1. B2. So these guys need to retreat 2 hexes to the rear. They can't retreat there or there, so they need to go that way. Was it 3 hexes or 2 hexes? 2 to 1, 2 hexes. So they go there. These guys will sure follow. Then we have the other Pomorsky firing at the Russians. That's a miss. The Russians fire back. Miss. Then we charge. It's 4 to 1. Doubled, you know. So 4 to 1, no other modifiers there. 6 on a 4 to 1. So we have the Russians taking a hit and retreating 2, but since they are already in strength 1, they are eliminated. We get this morale track 1 down again, and we can always take the hex. And this time I will actually charge with these guys first, because if I come in here, I can, you know, block these guys from retreating. Maybe I should have done more of these before, you know, attacking on the flanks first and then on the main attack. So the Nylands cavalry regiment will attack here. So we're gonna fire with the muskets first. It's a full strength unit. That's for sure a hit. 11 on a 2. That's an R, which means both a hit and then dispersed, but they are killed before that, so morale goes 1 up again. So the charge against the battery was a total fail. Now let's see if Charles can do anything with the other Nyland regiment here. No fire from the Swedes, but Tiesenhaus battalion will fire. Let's see what they get. That's a 9. And the 2 strength, that's a hit. As you see, the musketry is really effective here. Then we got the chance to charge. So we have, let's see, 1 to 1 from the start. We have a morale bonus, so it's 2 to 1. And Charles gives a +1 on the track, so it's 3 to 1 because Drost have no combat modifier, so it's 3 to 1. And the 4. 4 on a 3 to 1 means B2. So these guys need to retreat 2 hexes, and actually when I look at it now, they cannot. So I think they need to be eliminated by that, because they cannot retreat here. So they go down. These guys go here, and since we need to relocate Grost, he cannot be adjacent to an enemy, so he needs to go to Sight's battalion over here. And the track goes down 1, because we eliminated the unit. We're actually going to check if Drost was a casualty. He was. He was a casualty. Wow. This is a lot of victory points for the Swede, actually. That was very, very valuable for the Swedes, because I was a bit worried that they will lose this battle. We're also going to check if Charles survived the battle. It was close for him as well. It was actually 6, this one. That's interesting, but I wonder though if there's any other effect of leaders getting eliminated. I need to check that in the rules. Just a moment. Okay, so it actually had a pretty big impact. First of all, a leader loss is 6 victory points for the enemy unit, so that's a big thing. But the other big thing is that morale also goes down by 4 in the other player's favor if you lose a leader. So this goes down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's back to 0. And that was right in the last moment for the Swedes, because now it's the Saxon turn, and they will have, you know, these 1 or 2 bonuses here in their attacks. So now they cannot really do the counterattacks as easily. So let's see, let's go to the Saxon turn. So they're gonna get back the Saxonia battalion, and they need to be relocated adjacent to a leader. And since it was with Schulenburg over here, they will also deploy there. So Schulenburg, in the last moment, he managed to rally some Saxon guards who could guard his right flank. So now for Saxon artillery, we can 1, 2, 3. No, it's out of range, so Stenbock cannot be hit by this artillery. Actually, it cannot fire anyway, because if it has an enemy, I think it's adjacent to it, it cannot fire. But anyway, it cannot still, since it's out of range. So what should we do then? The thing is, if we do like this, we need to attack these guys. I don't know if I want to do that unless I get another guy in supporting action. Maybe we should do that. Let's do that. Let's see if we can get these Nyland cavalry and Charles. So these actually gonna pivot 1 hex over there. These guys go 1, 2, 3, I think. And then the Furstenberg, they need to cover the flank here. So they're actually gonna march up 1. Now, when these guys moved here, I can actually countercharge, but I don't think... Okay, these guys are in a danger now, because they don't have any retreat paths if they are forced to retreat. So maybe we should do the countercharge against sites before they attack us. But that will be... that would be, let me see now. I wonder if it's -2 for the woods. I will check that real quick. Yeah, so Woods of Force will get 2 shifts in favor here for the sites. So if we would attack, we will get 1-1, 2-1 for the morale, and 3-1 because it's Charles. But, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I cannot do that. No, I cannot do the counter charge because they need to move 1 hex to do it. And they cannot here, so it is actually like this. Okay, they need to take the charge. Okay, so these guys, if they are staying here, they need to attack both these, and then I'm sure these are dead, so they're gonna actually use all their wound points to get 1 hex back, and they're gonna retreat towards that direction. Over here, if we're gonna attack, it would be 1 to 1, 1 to 2. So I'm gonna actually... Oh man, this is hard. I need to retreat these guys as well. I cannot do any counter charges now. We're kind of doomed, and the same here, so I'm gonna go back. When you go back like this, you cannot counter charge them. So that's all the Saxon movement, and now we have 1 attack to do. It's over here. So let's see what we get. So we have 4, 5 against 2. That's 2 to 1. Then it drops to 1 to 1. Wait a minute, is that true? No, it's 4 to 1. But these are doubled. Yes, these are doubled. That's the thing. So it's actually 2 to 1, 1 to 1 for the morale, and 1 to 2 because of Charles. So this was not a good thing, but it might be worth it, because if we... actually they can retreat over here. This was bad from planning from me. But I need to do it now. It's 1 to 2, because attack is mandatory. But we're gonna fire first. So this could actually... Well, we could kill them with the musketry fire, because we have 4 strength points attacking, but we rolled bad with the Saxons when we need to roll good, so that's a miss. We cannot fire back, and then we do the 1 to 2 attack. So we got the 4 on the 1 to 2, meaning nothing happened, and maybe we should be glad as the Saxon player about that. But it would have been nice to, well, no, I'm not sure. Okay, so this is a situation after turn 3. So let's go on to turn 4. Okay, turn 4. So we start with the Swedes again. No artillery phase. We go directly to the movement phase. We have no troops in the dispersed track here. So nothing there either. So let's see how we can... I mean, this will for sure not take 7 turns. I mean, we will see an end before that. Now, the Swedes have a good chance to outflank some of the Saxon units right now. Let's see how we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe this one isn't doable. I think it's 3. I need to check how many movement points a cavalry need to pay in the woods there. Maybe I can see it actually in the Polish chart here. I think it's +3 even for... Oh, let me see. Here it is. Yeah, it's 3 points for cavalry, so I cannot outflank them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because then I need to also do a shift of facing, and that would be too expensive. So probably we just charge these guys full on the front here. We need to do that. But over here, I think I can outflank the Saxon guards here. What do we have here? Okay, here's Augusta. It says reduced battalion. Then we have 2 full battalions over there. Let's see how we could do this. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least we can get in the rear of one of these. I think we also can continue, because we only need to stop if we go into the zone of control, and that's the 3 frontal hexes. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually gonna go even further to attack Schulenburg in the rear. And here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I can now outflank 2 of the Saxon battalions here. That will hurt because they will only defend with 1. Okay, these guys actually do only have 1, but there's another thing. I also want to make sure they don't retreat. So let's see, who should we attack with? So here's a break in the line. That's bad for the Saxons. We can get even more troops into the rear here. I don't think you can enter swamp hexes with cavalry at least, so we need to try to get these guys in the rear of the Sides battalion here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. So we have these in the rear, so you can attack here. I will not move these guys because we don't want to get into reaction fire from their artillery. Now, is there a chance to get into the rear of those guys? Probably not. We would need some light cavalry for that, I believe, to have their movement points for it. But we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yes, we got into the rear of those guys with the Pomorsky Dragoons. That's fantastic. Let's see. 1, 2, and we attack from the front. Now we would need something to attack here as well. We might even do two units at attack here. So let's go 1, 2. I need those, and then I think let's see now. These are probably faced that way. So that's a 2 strength unit. Okay, so we just go like this then. 1 and 1. We're gonna charge those guys. Okay, so the light cavalry doesn't really, we don't need them over here anymore, basically. So I'm gonna just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna push them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5. So I'm gonna put them into some kind of reserve over here. And as for these, I'm just gonna charge those in the front, and the artillery cannot react. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna charge them. That's it. So we got lots of battles to do once more. Always when the Swedes, they do a lot of battles. So let's see. Let's start as usual from this flank. So Velink and his guys will now charge the Saxon guard. Okay, so we will have no fire from the Swedes, but we will get some musketry from the Saxon guards. Let's see what they can. And they're firing, yeah, they can only fire on the front, of course. So that's a 10. I'm sure that's a hit. Costs a 2 strength unit, and 10 minus 1. So these North Scanians take a hit. But then we charge. We have 2 points against 1. First of all, it's 1 because we attack them from the rear. So they can only defend with 1 strength point. And we are doubled, so it's 4 against 1. And then Velink gives 5 to 1 even. And 6 to 1 because we have morale bonuses. 6 to 1, and they cannot retreat. That's a 6. 6 on 6 to 1. B2. So they need to retreat 2 hexes. They cannot retreat 1. So these go down, and suddenly we are on the Swedish side of the track. And I mean, this is weird because we had lots of Swedes in the dead pile, but you know, the news of Drost's falling from his horse really did it for the... It did break the Saxon morale here. We're gonna take ground here. Then we have the second attack. Here we also got some Swedish fire to do. So let's do, it's a 1 strength cavalry unit. We need to roll really good to hit. That's an 8. I'm not even sure that will be enough. No, we actually need 10 to hit. And there's a 1 strength infantry firing back. That's an 8. That's barely a miss. 9 would be a hit. So no hits here. And then we do the charge. And again, we are attacking from the rear. So it's only 1 point, but it's 1 point anyway. You know, we have a son of control in all their black hexes here, so they cannot retreat. So we have 3 points. It's doubled to 6. So it's 6 to 1. We have morale. It's 7 to 1, and these guys doesn't help because it's a 0 in combat modifier. So it's a 7 to 1 charge coming in. Hurrah! 5. 7 to 1 and a 5. That's a B3. These guys just are dead. We drop 1 more level. I'm gonna check if Schulenburg survived that. He did, so he would need to relocate to a unit that it can't be adjacent to an enemy, I think. And that's a problem because all of the Saxon units are adjacent now. So I need to check if there's any, if he can relocate to any of these. I think he should, but I'll check the rules. Be right back. Okay, the rules are a bit vague. It says it can relocate to another unit if there's a path to it. And I guess in this case, path, well, can that include a enemy zone of control? I'm gonna just assume it can, so it will actually go over here. Or he will go over here, Schulenburg. So these guys can take ground. Actually, I will do it with these guys. Then we have the next charge, and I will actually do this one first when we attack in the rear. And I will not attack from the front, only from the rear. So there's no musketry, but we can fire with the Pomorskis against that guy with a 2 strength cavalry. It's a 7. That's a miss. Then we charge. They can only defend with 1 strength point. We have 4, so it's 4 to 1, and the morale is the same. So it's the 4 to 1 straight on here. 6. B2, and they also lose 1 strength point. So, first of all, they lose 1, and then they need to retreat, and they are eliminated. They cannot retreat. So now we're suddenly on the 1 favor for the Swedes in the morale track. Now, do I want to gain ground? The thing is, these guys can retreat even if I gain ground. So, let's do it anyway, just for the sake of it. And then this battle. So we have the Pruski who will fire. Wow, that's a 10. That could be a hit actually. 1 strength, 10. Yes, we actually managed to hit these musketeers. I'm gonna check Schulenburg again. He's fine. I don't know if I rolled for Schulenburg in the last battle. Let's do that. Okay, that was close. I don't even know if I rolled for Velink. I'm not sure if you need to check for every battle they involve with, but I'm gonna just play it like that. Okay, Schulenburg is fine. So now I'm gonna fire back, and we fire against. Let's do the. No, let's fire at these guys, because if I hit them, they will drop 1 morale level, so they don't get the extra from that. So that's a 9, 2 strength. That's for sure a hit. Yes. So actually, these South Scanians got killed. So we go up again in the morale track, and then we have to charge. And let's see now. I don't think these are on the same level now, so no worries about that. So it's 2 to 1, and that's it. They have no guys in the rear attacking. So 2 to 1 for the Swedes. That's a 7. 7 on 2 to 1 is a B1. Okay, so these guys need to retreat 1 hex. I don't think I need to do a morale check. Infantry on the morale 8, retreating 1 hex. No need for that. But I guess we need to check for Schulenburg again. He's fine. So these retreat and these guys gain ground. Okay. These guys are soon dead. All the Saxons are soon dead over here. But we're not done yet. We have a few attacks to do. So let's continue over here. So do we have any fire? Yes, these Pomorsky will fire. That's a 7. That would be a miss, I'm sure. Yes. Then Sights infantry battalion will fire against the Nyland cavalry. 8. 2 strength points. Hit. So these guys dies. Man, this is so bloody. Okay, so we go up 1 more on the morale step level. Charles needs to relocate to the Pomorskis, who will then charge to the rear. But let's see now. So we have 2 points. That's 4 points against 1 because we attack in the rear. So it's 4 to 1. It's 5 to 1 because of Charles the 12th. But then we drop 2 levels because of the woods. So it's 3 to 1 in the end. That's a 6 on the 3 to 1. B1. Now, can these guys retreat in any rear hex? They actually can. They can go here. And they don't need to do but I'll check on that. These guys though now have a problem for retreating. They will not be able to do that if needed. So let's see. We have a lot of fire coming in first. We have 2 of the Steenbock's dragoons here. So they're gonna fire with a strength of 4. That's a 7. That's a hit. So we hit these Furstenberg infantry, but they will fire back against Steenbock stack. 11. Oh my, that's a good hit, I believe. Yeah, that would actually be our result. They would end up over here, but since they have Steenbock with them, if he survives, then they don't bother, but they will still need to take a hit. Let's check if Steenbock survived. He did. So here's the situation, and then we charge. We have 3 points against 1. Actually 6 points against 1. 6 to 1, 7 to 1. No morale difference, so 7 to 1. And we roll a 6. 7 to 1 on a 6 is B2 minus 1. So these guys actually take a hit, so they are dead anyway. And we get the Swedish morale track going up once more. And then we're gonna go in here. Sorry, it was this hex. So let's go in here. That's the situation after the Swedish turn 4. And as you can see, there are only 3 hexes left with Saxon units, so this will be a crushing Swedish victory, I'm sure of that. Especially since we have Drost killed. But it's the Saxons who go next. And I don't know. What on earth can we do? We cannot do much at all, to be honest. We could just disengage over there. Otherwise, we will have to attack with 1 to 2, you know, after doing some fire. But maybe that's the best chance, because if we disengage, we will get attacked in the rear. So I will actually stay here and attack with the Krylové infantry. I don't know who those guys are, to be honest. Here then, we have 2. I mean, these guys probably need to disengage, and these guys should maybe turn. First we had actually the artillery phase, but we cannot fire at anything. So I need to do a facing change here. Cost me 2 movement points. Should we attack the bad thing is we have to. So what if we instead moved off here? 1. But then we can get charged by these guys in the rear. Well, what could we do here? The thing is, if I do a facing change, we need to attack both these units. But actually, no, it's not even in the rear. Ah, crap. Well, I think we're done. We are done. But if I just go 1... we need to try that. I need to escape. Okay, so these guys have them in the front, so they can charge, which we will do. So they charge here, they will fire the cavalry once. Boom, 10, all right, that's actually a hit. So both these units take a hit. And then we charge, and that's 2 points against 2 points. No, it's double. Yeah, it's double, 2 against 2. And then 2 to 1 here, no moral difference. So 2 to 1 for the Swedes. And that's a 7. 2 to 1 on a 7. We got the B1, so these guys need to retreat 1 hex. Luckily for them, they can go here. These guys can follow. Here we are. Then we have these guys, they will back up. That's it. So now we come to the battle phase. And unfortunately for these guys, they need to attack since they have units in their front. So let's start here. But this guy we can at least do some musketry fire. So we fire with 1 point and we roll the 9. And that's actually enough. We hit Stenbock. Let's fire back before we take those off. And that's a 10 on a 1. Okay, so they are shooting each other to oblivion here. So these two are eliminated. 1, 2, and then these guys get eliminated. We go up again, and then we're gonna check if Stenbock survived. He did. So he relocates over here now. That's not all. We have another attack to do. These guys will fire. It's a 1 strength musketry. That's a 7. That's not enough. Then the Pruski will fire back. 1 strength cavalry, nothing. Then we do the close combat, and that will be 1 against 2. And that's all. 1 against 2. 10. Doesn't look too good for the Saxons there. A1 main -1. So we take a hit and we go to the Swedish side once more, and then we check if Schulenburg is alive. He is, so he can actually, well, the rules say he can relocate to the nearest unit more or less, so he's here. Suddenly. Okay, a bit crazy. I mean, of course, this game is over, but let's do the last charge anyway, before we end this. So we go to turn 5, and it's the Swedes. No artillery, we're just gonna charge them. Okay, so the problem for the Swedes is that it's a lot of woods here, so they cannot come to the rear. And if we do a facing change with cavalry here, like this, we need to pay for the terrain as well. So that would be 4 points, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we don't have enough. So we need to do a frontal assault here against those guys. And we're going to do that. So it's both Stenbock and Charles XII to do the last attack here. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just, in case we need to attack once more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's also bring these light cavalry over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's see how it goes. that's for the movement. Now we're gonna fire if we have anybody. Yes, we have these guys and these guys. 4 points of cavalry firing, and they miss. We have a full strength battalion here still. They will fire out against, let's take Charles. That's a 6. That's not enough. So then we have the charge. Let's see. We have 4 points doubled up, 8 towards 2. So it's 4 to 1. It's 5 to 1 and actually 6 to 1, I believe. Wonder if you can add 2 leaders. I think 1 is actually what you can get from here. So it's 5 to 1. 5 to 1. Oh my, double 6. Meaning both sides lose 1 step. Okay. Let's check for Schulenburg. Can you believe it? The second Saxon leader loss. So this goes down. Actually, I got 1 more. Sorry. I got 1 more because I have the morale on my side. Let's redo this. So it's actually, what did we say? 4 to 1, 5 to 1. So it's actually 6 to 1. But it's the same result. Okay, sorry. So these guys take a hit. We need to take a hit over here also. Let's take Stenbock, who takes this hit, and then we also check him if he survived. He did. So now we see it goes down for even more. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a total victory for the Swedes, and basically I'm not gonna bother to play the Saxon turn. They would just back up 1, you know. Then comes the Swedish attack. They will go in with everything they have. They cannot attack them from the rear, but you know, you can see where this is going, right? Let's roll for it anyway, just for the fun of it. So these guys go in, the light just stands there. We start with firing with the all these dragoons. It's 5 points, 8, and they hit. So these guys go down, and that's the end of it. Okay, so it's a total victory. Let's still count the victory points though. So here we have 12 points. They are worth 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 victory points for the Swedish player. And Saxons get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 20 against 13. So that's it. But if you look at the units dead, let's take these artillery off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, yeah, this was 13. So pretty even losses though. So 12 battalions against 13 of the Swedes, which are, well, kind of battalions, but this is cavalry, so a few squadrons per unit there. And then we have these 2 batteries, so that evens this out. So in losses, actually, this is pretty even, or actually, yeah, it's even, and it's a bit in history, even though these are probably much more than in history, because if you remember from the first part, we said that probably both sides lost somewhere between 500 and 600 men. These are, of course, much more. Well, not these are dead, of course, but still. But the big difference is, of course, these guys, because Schulenburg, he is an important guy, and would he fall here, then it would be a disaster, because he's, if I remember correctly, he would be the commander of Fraustadt, you know, and let's see here. Yeah, he's pretty much the overall commander of the Saxon army. From him, so losing him would be a big loss for August. Anyway, some thoughts about the game. Does it feel like what you could imagine a battle in the 1700s looked like, at least in the beginning of it and in the Great Northern War, which is, of course, a bit of a special type of battles, even in the 1700s, compared to if you look at for instance, the War of the Spanish Succession. One thing is, Swedish infantry, which we didn't have in this battle, of course, but still they had pikes. Even the Russians have pikes. I mean, a Swedish battalion had about a third of their men were equipped with pikes and not muskets. So that's something you don't see in other armies really anymore. Russians had, but I think not in those numbers. But back to this game and this scenario. Well, as I said, there are some. I mean, the rules are not super clear, as I already said in the beginning. So there's a few question marks here and there how to play it. But on the other hand, the rules are really, really simple. And I mean, if you look at the length of the pages, it's 8 pages of rules, and even you can also skip some of the rules, like Tatars, pikemen. We don't have anything like that in this game. I think there's other things here we can also just ignore, like this one, this copy or lances that the Polish hussars are. I don't know if there are any of these in any later other of these scenarios, but I don't think so. I haven't seen any note of that, but maybe I have missed that. So the rules are really simple. If you take away those pages, those rules sections, maybe it's just 6 pages or 7 at the most. It's a really simple system. So in that sense, okay, you cannot get too much chrome into such a game, right? And for good things, one thing I like is the morale track. I think that's a really nice concept. If the battle is going your way, your troops gonna be more strong out of that fact that things are going your way, and if a enemy general falls, and sooner or later the word will spread around and you just get boosted. And so that's a nice thing, even though we didn't get to use it that much. I even forgot it in the end, I believe. I should have had that in the last battle as well, because we were down here somewhere. Anyway, I like the concept. The dispersed thing is... Sorry, got distracted there. Got someone on the front door. So I think I was talking about dispersed tracks, right? Well, I have kind of a mixed feeling of these. It's a bit weird that suddenly a unit just disappears from the map until the next turn, and when they reappear close to a leader. On the other hand, you can see them as spread out somewhere, not able to fight, but still it's weird that they are pretty much coming back next turn in full strength. I mean, at some point maybe it can be more beneficial. You have a 2 strength unit in close combat that gets the R result. It ends up here and saves you from being eliminated maybe, and then next turn it appears somewhere else close to a leader. It could feel a bit weird, but I see the idea here, and I think it's a generally a good thing to try to simulate kind of, you know, just a unit that is kind of not destroyed, but almost. But I think it might be a good thing, you know, to it should be a bit more difficult to come back from this track. That maybe is what I'm looking for here. Otherwise, well, okay game, but not super I don't know. It's not. It's something that disturbs me here. I'm not really sure what it is, but I mean, it kind of things cool, you know. The Swedes took a lot of punishment when charging head on onto the Saxon lines, and the Saxon artillery and the musketry was really effective. Lots of Swedish dead in the beginning, but as soon as the Swedes got their mass in there and started to make these more big odds attacks, I mean, and when of course when Drost was a casualty, then everything just went southwards for the Saxons here. But it kind of, I mean, again, effective fire with infantry and all that, it feels it's there. The morale thing, as I said, cool. Maybe there are some, I don't know what it is. Something is not just feeling 100% here, but it's also a bit of an odd fight, maybe, you know, all cavalry against an infantry line. So maybe it gives a weird feeling. So maybe this is how it should work. But on the other hand, the big casualty lists is another thing. I mean, surely an army taking this much of casualties would have already disengaged and tried to escape, right? Even when the Swedish first charges hit the Saxons here, I mean in this game, not in history, and they took so much penalties or suffering so much from the artillery fire and musketry fire that maybe they would have called off the attack, to be honest. So maybe it's something like that disturbs me a bit, but we'll see. The next fight we will do is Tylevice 1704, and it's a bit of a smaller fight, and we'll see kind of infantry here. I think we will see. Let's check it out. I think it's dismounted dragoons on the Swedish side. Let's see where we have it. Cannot turn the page. Here it is. So we have Velling with, I think this means Spigeni Dragoni. I think that might be these mounted dragoons. And then we have probably 3 cavalry units as well. Velling. Probably. Then on the Saxon side we have yeah, I think this is infantry. Yeah, these are Russians, of course. Yeah, so we have Russians, some artillery here, more artillery. These guys, I don't know what it is, but we'll see. But we will see a bit more of you know, kind of infantry fight here, and that's gonna be interesting to see, actually. And I'm kind of looking forward to the bigger ones later on. For instance, Fraustadt will be really nice to play, and also Kalisz, I think. So let's see. This system might get better when we get to more traditional fights. I think we're done with that. So let's see how it feels after the next game. So I hope you have enjoyed it, and this was Poniec 1704, and you guys who wants to see more ancient Saxon and commands and colors, I will of course be back with that as well. Don't worry. So we will continue with the Spartacus battles there. But I think I will play this one, Tylevice, pretty soon as well. Okay, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Bye-bye.